So it was scary standing up. I'm a black girl in England talking to people who, like football people. Sometimes football people could be real racist, you know? I think it was me leaving my full-time job.
Okay.
That's what it was. I didn't have any savings. I was broke. And I just knew that I needed the space in my mind to dedicate the amount of energy that it took to like actually do the creative stuff that I really wanted to do.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, eh? My highs and lows inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me worth, and now I'm worth everything. Went from Wall Street to Abu Dhabi, straight rolling in a Maserati with women that feel exotic. My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
flight
going
out.
on, man?
Flat out.
Wagwan. Welcome to another special London edition. That was my fake top boy accent. But welcome back. We're here for another special episode in London. I'm your host, Mike. I'm with Jay. We're here at the last flight out. Please hit the like, subscribe button, comment, follow throughout all our social media platforms. You can find me at If Mike Was Here on IG. You can also find John at
JLubriel26. Today, we're thrilled to have a dynamic and inspiring guest. Our guest is a renowned broadcaster and presenter based in London, known for her vibrant personality and diverse hosting gigs. Born in London and partly raised in Brooklyn, New York, she brings a perfect blend of professionalism, charisma, and sass to her work. She's made a name for herself in the entertainment industry, hosting shows across various platforms, including BBC Radio 1 Extra, MTV, and Rinse FM. Notably, she's been the face of the Lionesses live show during the UEFA's Women's Championship, showcasing her versatility and passion for sports. And most recently, she's also covered Wimbledon, adding another prestigious event to her impressive portfolio. With a background that spans music, sports, and lifestyle presenting, her journey is as inspiring as it is impressive. We can't wait to delve into her story and hear about her experiences and insights, so please welcome to the show the very talented Joelah Noble.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that was a great intro. Thank you.
You can add that to your roll call if you wanted.
That's gonna be my DJ. You don't already have the jingle. It's gonna be on 2 minutes. I'm like, yeah, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah. So first of all, Joelah, thank you so much for making the time today. I know you're incredibly busy, just coming back from your 1 to 4 BBC Radio host gig. So thank you so much. So as a little bit of an icebreaker, we like to start the show before we get into the actual interview and the show and the conversation about yourself with a word association. So I throw a word, first thing that comes to your head, just say it.
I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to say.
It ain't that bad.
I feel like this is going to expose me in some kind of way.
The word is just radio.
Host.
Exactly. There you go. So they say
Let's go.
It was easy.
One and done. That's it.
That was it. One and done.
What? Just one?
Just one.
Oh,
One word
okay,
association.
okay.
That's it.
Just
One
one.
word association.
But you know, we want to start from the beginning though. You know, you grew up in South London, but you moved to Brooklyn, New York. Can you tell us what's that like? Like, what was your childhood like?
Yeah, I was born in South London. I went to New York with my mum when I was 5 years old. And then I stayed in New York until I was about 13. So I did elementary school, junior high school. I remember being like super young and being like, oh, we're going to, I didn't know about the A's. I thought it was actually Africa that we were going to. So I remember telling my friend, you know these early memories. I remember telling my friend, oh, we're going Africa. And then my friend was like, no, you're going America. And I'm like, man, I'm going Africa. I didn't even know the difference in cultures or anything like that. Anyway, turns out I found myself in Brooklyn, New York. And it really was, honestly, foundation years. Like, that's still my home in my heart to this day. I'm trying to be there and live there and work there. So if you guys, want to recommend me for anything, then,
I mean, with your resume,
it
shouldn't be
I
hard.
think you need a recommendation.
I need a recommendation from you.
we can work together on this.
Okay.
But it was It was, I don't really remember other than when I first went there, I was like super pale, more pale than I am now, if you can imagine. And I had a British accent and they used to call me white girl and I used to start crying. 'Cause I was like, I'm not
American
white.
ignorance, bro. That's what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm imagining you were the only British person.
I was definitely the only British person. And, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, after that, you know, I went through the school system and had my times where I was like quite naughty, actually. I really used to fight.
Oh, really?
I know.
Wait, what part of Brooklyn did you grow up in,
Yeah,
first of all?
New Lots.
That's
So-
like a 3 train.
It's the last stop on the number 3
That's
train.
That's Brownsville, right?
It's
Is it
no,
Brownsville?
it's like East New York.
That's almost
Yeah.
the same though. Like
I know. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging.
Nah, no
That's why you was
judgment.
fighting
No
every day.
Well, I went to school in my elementary school was on like Eastern Parkway, so like Utica or whatever. So I used to have to take the train, and so I was quite naughty, but I was also really academic. So I was in the top class for like everything basically. I used to get really good grades. My junior high school was a great junior high school. Sorry, I keep on hitting the mic.
That's all right.
Yeah, my junior high school was a great junior high school. But I don't know, like I think, you know, growing up, people just, they seen the cute little petite, childish looking face. I mean, I was a child and they used to kind of try me. And then, you know, I went through that in elementary.
Don't try a South Londoner. That's
Right, it's South London and Brooklyn.
That's a bad
That
combination.
accent threw them off, and they was like, "Let me try."
Exactly.
You know, she sounds proper.
You know,
Exactly.
You know what it is? I think there's this misnomer that the British accent is a perception of like softness from New Yorkers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you hear guys from the hood, like they can't. How am I supposed to take a guy who talks like Harry Potter seriously? You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
say that all the time.
I'm like, yeah, go try them. Go, let's go. They're gonna pull out the wand.
Like you see things like Top Boy now and you're like, oh, okay, maybe there is a hood in England. There's a hood everywhere, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like I said, I try and go back every chance I get, and it really made me who I am in terms of I wanted to be a rapper growing up. That was definitely Brooklyn's influence, you know. Absolutely. Just I think my boldness is definitely from New York. My sense of humor, I think, is also, you know, it has elements of my upbringing in Brooklyn as well. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Nice.
And I guess growing up in Brooklyn and, you know, being the accomplished presenter and broadcaster that you are, did that have any inspiration on your career choice at all, or the style that you have? Because I've heard some of yours. I've seen and heard you present before, and I could kind of sound like, yeah, there's definitely that New York influence in how it is there. So I could definitely see the influence. But growing up in Brooklyn, did that sort of influence entertainment at all in your mind? Or
I think so. Like I said, I wanted to be a rapper. That was definitely me listening to Hot 97. I didn't even know I wanted to be on radio until I was actually on radio. But then when I look back, I'm like, I used to do fake like radio. I used to have a fake radio station in my head, and I used to write like a little script, and you know, that was from listening to the New York radio stations and the people that I was around as well. I used to hang out with people that were considerably older than me because I have older siblings. So they didn't live in New York with me, but they would come and visit, and so the people on the block would then become like my older siblings in a different kind of way, and they'd come to the house, and my mum was really cool, so they'd like chill in the house with us, and we'd end up freestyling. And that's like when I thought, like, yeah, I could really do this, you know?
You said freestyle. You got something for
Oh
it?
Oh my God,
Like,
no. You know what?
Yeah,
On another
some-
day, I probably would have, but I've done it a couple times recently, and I'm just letting myself down consistently. I'm like, little JoJo would not be happy with this. I think I've lost it, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry. And when did you? So you transitioned back from Brooklyn to London at 13.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Like, how was that transition?
It was a culture shock for sure. I was in Brooklyn where there was just Spanish people and black people, and you went to Manhattan when you saw like white people, you know? Or there were certain places in Brooklyn, but culturally it just wasn't a part of like the community that I grew up in. So it was different. It really was. Like I thought everywhere looked like New York. I didn't realize that there was so much greenery in England. Were you guys surprised when you Have you seen loads of greenery here?
No, we just been in the city. This reminds me of New York.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the greenery and all that.
Me living here, there's definitely more greenery here than
Yeah.
you have Hyde Park, you have like, the greenery around Buckingham Palace. I lived in Covent Garden, so I was able to just walk to the West End and see all the parks that were there.
Yeah.
But all we got is Central Park, man.
It's true. And I mean,
got
you've got like Prospect Park and
Riverside
stuff.
Park,
Yeah, but Riverside Park is
Fort Washington Park, and the Heights is, man, there's a bunch of parks, man.
not enough.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp, because sometimes you can't do it alone. If you're anything like me and you're balancing your career, a podcast, and your personal life, all while living in a fast-paced environment like New York City, finding time for your mental health may seem impossible, but that's exactly what you need to do. Therapy shouldn't feel like one extra thing in your plate. BetterHelp's online platform makes it easy for you to connect with a therapist who best fits your schedule. You can switch therapists at any time at no additional cost, so you always have the right support. Most of us are not encouraged to open up about our feelings, so we push through the stress, the anxiety, and anything else that life throws at us. I can tell you from personal experience that not opening up can have a real toll on your health, your work, and your relationships. That's why having a space where you can just talk, no stigma, no judgment, is so important. Therapy doesn't make you weak. It's about having the strength to deal with what's really going on.
Visit BetterHelp.com/LFOpod to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LFOpod.
You got parks, not enough. But when we first came, we came to a place outside of London called Brighton. You familiar with Brighton? So it was just like countryside. And I didn't know the difference between Brighton and London at that time. So I was just like, what's going on? It was like super boring for me. And then like people had different accents from different regions. To this day, I can't pronounce certain things properly or like understand certain things. It's just ignorance. But I love it. I love London as well. As you said, it's like a smaller New York.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
like
I wouldn't even disrespect it like that. Sorry, I'd be caping for London because I love this place.
you think that's disrespectful?
I think that London and New York, first of all, they're the two major global cities on the planet, right? Mm-hmm. That's one. They're the only two cities that are considered off of this official rating that are considered like AAA metropolis cities, which makes sense. And then for me, when I transitioned here, when I lived there, it was such an easy transition because as an adult, because the personalities were kind of the same. But yeah, going back to
That's why it's little New York.
it's not
It's just not as loud. It's not
definitely
as
not as
fast, and it's not as smelly in the summertime.
that is a fact. It's not.
There's no steam coming out of the ground.
You guys,
I haven't seen a rat here.
No,
either.
I have.
No, 7-foot rats. They're not running across. There's not like piles of garbage. And this sounds disrespectful, but actually it's like what I love about it as well. Like, in the summertime, I'm just like,
You
it
like this
stings. Oh, I miss this so much.
In New York?
Yeah. I'm just like,
what was I telling you?
Oh my
So
God.
Mike living in Dubai has gotten soft. He doesn't like
Listen,
rats.
I don't do the
like
train.
How do you not like rats?
I don't do, listen,
trains,
I'm
like-
not getting out stomping my feet
Yeah,
when
no,
I walk
crazy.
past a garbage can.
You gotta
like-
walk in the middle of the road.
Yes,
All the garbage
yes.
bags. Yeah, crazy.
It's
Culture.
culture. Bro. Come on, he's I don't know what's going on.
Dubai's all clean and shit.
Exactly. Anyway, but I guess so. When did you realize that you wanted a career in broadcasting? When you came back, did you know that already? Like kind of entertainment, like when you were 12, 13?
Yeah.
Like, when did that start coming about?
I always just knew I wanted to be in the media business. I say I wanted to be a rapper. I really wanted to be a singer, guys, but I just can't sing.
You gotta get that on part 2.
No, listen, my aim in life is to get some singing lessons and just come out and just show everyone that doubted me.
album.
I wish. I just knew like I liked speaking to people on a big level.
Right.
So I said, all right, singer didn't work out, rapper didn't work out, could still work out, still hope maybe. And then I came to England and I did the academic thing. I went to uni. I didn't finish it because I was living by myself at that time and had to pay like real bills and real rent. And I was just like, how am I studying drama? And what was I studying at first? I think it was journalism and drama, or journalism and film in the first uni that I went to. I was like, I could just do this in real life. And I didn't for a long time, actually. I went to work like really normal jobs that I respect but did not like doing it. Right. And so I was just depressed for a long time. And then I was like, you know what? I did acting, still love acting, but that just, it takes so long sometimes with acting. Like some people never get their big break. It's crazy.
It's a grind.
It's a different kind of grind, and you've got to like just be doing that. And I wasn't just doing that. So I said, you know what, let me do presenting. I feel like it's easier to get going yourself. It's not an easy skill, but just easier to get going. And I created a bootleg online magazine called Egoism.
Egoism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that the name is questionable now when I look back, but
that sounds fine to me.
It's cool.
For me, it was just like I needed to concentrate on me, even though it wasn't about me. It was actually about how people like followed their dreams and stuff, and I needed practice with interviewing people. But it was bootleg. It looked crazy.
Okay, you mentioned that you were living on your own. Was that a decision that you made? Is that something that, was circumstances in your life at the time? Because it sounded like you were pretty young when you moved out of your house.
Yeah, I did when I was like 17.
Wow.
Yeah, so my mum, she's Trinidadian. She went back to Trinidad for her own personal reasons. And I thought I was big, I thought I could do this. Me and my sister were living together, and then it just got to a point where it was just like, no, I could do this by myself, obviously. At 17, it was very difficult, but it made me have to work these normal jobs and, not really enjoy what I was doing. I wasn't really fulfilled.
So what was your first start where you're like, I'm in the industry? Because you started off with Egoism, that's your own thing. Does that take off, or it just help you build your confidence and then lead you to your first break?
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't take off. It's bootleg, I'm telling you. But it helped me build my confidence. Okay. It helped me say, this is what I'm doing. Like when I left my full-time job, I was like, oh guys, I have an online magazine. So it made it sound good, because the worst question for me was, what do you do? That was like the scariest question that people would ask me growing up, because I didn't know. I was doing things that I didn't like doing. So I didn't want to say I'm doing this, and I wasn't happy doing that. Right. So this was an opportunity for me to say, oh, I actually have a magazine. I'm not going to give you the link though.
It's under production.
It's not really even out properly, but yeah, it was great confidence. But the first thing, to answer your question, was I used to do phone reviews, like whatever new phones coming out with Car Phone Warehouse. So they sell phones. They have a shop here, and they just gave me a script. I had an auto cue, and I pretend like I know what I'm talking about, and that's how I really started. And then after that, I did the weekly news for GRM Daily. And that was like something that really like kind of propelled me in the industry at that time.
So actually transitioning into that, hosting Grime, I pronounce it Grime Daily.
That's the OG, right?
OG. I said Grime Daily. I used to listen to that before I got to London. So I knew about Grime Daily. That's not because people in New York don't really listen to a lot of. Now they do, because it's a lot more mainstream, but back then people weren't really listening to it. So you were hosting Grime Daily and also the Rated Awards, and those were significant milestones. So again, congratulations to young JoJo. How did those opportunities come about?
GRM Daily, what was I doing? I was lucky because I knew someone that knew Posty, who he owns GRM Daily. We went to an event. I was introduced to him, and I kind of said a cheeky little, oh, well, if you need anyone. And I don't know, maybe 6 months later, to be honest, I have no idea in terms of the time. But some time after, he called me and he's like, oh, I got a present for you. I was like, present? What's this present? Oh, I'm giving you the opportunity to try and work, and do the news for me, the weekly news. And I remember going into the office for the first time. I was so nervous. Also, growing up in Brooklyn, I felt kind of disconnected from the UK music scene. I like to know everything about everything. So if I don't know about the first ever UK rapper, then I would feel quite insecure about that.
Yeah.
That opportunity taught me that I didn't need to know everything about everything. And it's really just how I deliver things. And also, you could always do research.
Yeah. That's how you learn. You're not supposed to know everything. And anybody who says they know everything, you gotta question that person.
I'm scared of them.
You gotta question that person for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then from there, you worked at other platforms like BBC Radio, MTV. What are the highlights or the big moments at those platforms? platforms that you like?
I think this show that I'm doing now, well, I have 2 shows on BBC One Extra. It's one called Throwback Party, which is an hour-long rave we call Party Shindig. And that's old school hip-hop and R&B music, all the way up until like 2018. We actually interviewed Nelly Furtado yesterday.
Nelly Furtado,
Is
really?
she coming out with music?
Good.
Or
Yeah, she is. She's got an album. I don't know when this is coming out, but the album will probably be out by the time this comes out. She looks good, side note. Have you seen her recently?
I haven't, but I feel like
Love her.
I feel like the artists from back in the day, like they're all looking good. Maya,
Yes.
Ray, Ashanti,
Oh,
like
Nelly's
Nelly-
doing right.
Nelly's thick, you know.
Who?
Nelly Furtado, not Nelly.
Oh,
Not Ashanti.
I was like, Nelly? I was
No,
like,
I don't really care about that. He said who? I don't care.
Like, yeah. Like,
Imagine he was like, yeah, he is. No, Nelly Furtado's thick. Like, she looks great.
Actually, I seen something like I think it was on the Shade Room. They posted her a while back. Yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out to her. So that's like a big milestone for me to be able to do that show. I've been doing that for a few years now. We won an award for that as well. And it was not expected. So that was, a really great feeling. And to have this Saturday show as well. One Extra is a station that I would listen to. I would look at the presenters on the station and I'd just be inspired by them. I think it's one of the best, not just because I'm on it, but the fact that like the music quality is really high. So
I actually spun it for a full 4 hours that you had, and I was
Really?
like, wow, this is pretty good. I had it in the background, I was working, and I was like, wow, I actually like tuned in the entire time.
nice,
It was
thank
good.
you.
So congratulations
Thank
for keeping
you.
my attention, because
Thank you, no.
even in New York radio, Hot 97, 105.1, I can't listen to it for too long.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I
It
feel
used
that.
to be good, but it's not anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's different.
But yeah, it's those, and MTV you mentioned. I did a dating show called Are You the One? That was
Yeah.
huge
Paramount,
for me.
right?
Yeah, Paramount Plus. The Lionesses live thing that I done during the Women's Euros, that was amazing. Every single day we did a live show. That was crazy to do that, but amazing.
And speaking about all these highlights that you've had, what were some of the early challenges you had in your career?
I guess just like that first step, the first like putting myself out there, people knowing me, overcoming crazy insecurity and just like low confidence. I used to wish that things would get cancelled. And
What?
that's, I know, right?
That you were on?
Like, you
yeah,
were
like
show?
things like that, like I obviously want to do this, right? But I'm like on my way to a gig that I'm like scared about because, I'm not used to it at that time. And I used to secretly wish that can it get cancelled? If it ever got cancelled, I'd be really pissed. But like now seeing how I operate with like things that I'm nervous about is totally different. It's a complete 180 situation. Yeah. But that just shows like you just got to overcome a lot of things in your head.
Yeah, and it's so funny because speaking to some people, they don't get nervous, right? They're like whatever. But I'm the type of person who does get nervous. I don't know, Mike. Do you get nervous before
Yeah,
like big
definitely,
things? Like
definitely, yeah.
I think it's because you care and you put a lot of preparation into it. Even though we're friendly, right? I want to make sure on this interview, especially, or when I was presenting to you, I get a little nervous because I want to make sure what I'm saying is correct,
For
right?
sure.
Like I want to make sure that I present this person to the audience in the right way, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for you when you do a gig, right? You want to present whatever the framing of whatever you're trying to do in the correct manner, and not trip over your words. So, what are some of the things that you do to sort of like get over your nervousness? Is it just like when the lights come on, that's it, you're good? Like,
Sorry. I've been out a lot recently, guys, so my voice is so raspy. What do I do to get over my nerves? I do as much research as I possibly can, so then I feel prepared for the situation. Deep breaths. We're not saving lives. This is entertainment. It's we're not performing heart surgery. It's not that deep. No. It's amazing. I'm grateful I have the opportunity, but it's entertainment. So I think just reminding myself of that as well, reminding myself that everyone's human, everyone has, we bleed the same, like we all go through the same things, whether we speak about it or not. Yeah. And just reminding myself to like have fun. Might have a little pray beforehand, But yeah, I just got to kind of center myself and be in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an overthinker, so that's like I've had to learn how to do that.
Nice. And then how do you adapt to the different roles? So you do things in music, sports, lifestyle. Are they all your passion?
I always say sports chose me. I never chose it. I always say that. Culturally, it's aligned with me. Like, I'm super competitive. I was the NBA ambassador, NBA Europe ambassador last season. And I love basketball. But again, if I don't know everything about everything, then I do feel a little bit insecure, you know? The same with football. I started off doing sneaker reviews because I love fashion and streetwear, and people automatically just assumed I was a sporty girl, and that like I'm actually into sports. Good thing that I just learn really quickly, and I'm competitive, so I actually do really like watching sports. But we definitely couldn't afford the sports channel growing up, so I didn't watch, you know, a lot of football or basketball growing up, or tennis, for instance.
Yeah.
So that's always something that makes me quite nervous to do, you know, sports things when I don't know I want to know everything. Music is definitely my comfort zone, but I feel like my life has taken me in places where it's just forced me to just come out. And so now it's a bit of a habit. I have to come out of the comfort zone.
All right. And do you do, like, I think when we research you do a fair amount of traveling.
I do, yeah.
Does that influence, like, sort of like your perspective on things, and when you sort of broadcast, you're able to bring a different angle to stuff? Or is that something that you kind of just separate? When I'm traveling, I'm doing my own thing, or do you like try to get inspiration from your travels in any way, try to influence them to your career?
I think as a creative, it's easy to find inspiration from so many different places, as long as that's where you are in that space, because, you know, we get blocks or whatever. But yeah, no, I definitely, every time I travel, I'm inspired. I always come back and I'm just like, all right, what do I have to do? I need to sort out my life.
Yeah.
What's happening now? I make lists. You know, I've got a to-do list that needs to be completed, and goals and stuff, and vision boards. But I think even me being born in London, raised in Brooklyn, and then coming back, that was crazy for my perspective. That changed my perspective anyway. Yeah. And traveling, it would just do that anyway.
I'm a big traveler. So what are your top 3 places that like inspired you personally and then professionally?
Can I put New York in there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. Always.
It feels like home. So it's like, it's 100%. Just.
Let me pause you right there for a second. So I hype New York all the time. See, people love New York, Mike. Come back home, baby.
You don't love New York?
He's missing
I'm
Miami.
proud that I'm
You've got
from
a
there.
USA hat on
He's
right
Mr.
now.
Miami.
You know, the USA team is in town. So.
Yeah, it's true. I'm actually going to that after this.
I'm going to the Germany one.
Oh, nice. I might go to that one. I'm going to try and get tickets for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike is Mr. Miami. If
I ever go back to the States, I'm going to Miami. I love the beach. I love the weather.
Miami.
So
I like the concrete
So
subways.
do I.
I don't like palm trees, and
Yeah.
I can live without that.
Miami's nice, but
It's nice for a visit. It's great for a visit, but to live there.
But if you go to Miami, just don't go to South Beach.
that's where I used to go all the time, every
problem.
year. I haven't been since like 2018, maybe.
You gotta switch it up. You gotta go downtown, Brickell, Windward, like that.
I want to go for Art Basel. I've never done that.
That's nice.
That's around my birthday. So.
Is it?
Yeah, December 4th. So.
Is that your birthday?
Yeah.
Same day as Jay-Z?
Of course.
Sagittarius guy.
Yeah.
Okay. When's your birthday?
October 26th.
What's that? Libra?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Oh gosh. Yeah.
When's
What about you?
Yeah, August 29th.
Oh, you're a
Virgo.
Leo.
I'm a Virgo.
She's a Virgo. That's why I was gonna say she's a Virgo, because she's giving out the list.
I know.
Very erotic.
You close to a Leo though, I feel like.
Yeah. No, because I'm really into this kind of stuff, honestly. So, you know, when people are like, oh, what time were you born and all of that? Like,
What time are you? Somebody did that to me the other day. They were in my chart. I have like where my moon is at, but like I have like 7 Scorpios,
Wow.
5 Capricorns, or something like
Yeah.
that. Like I have 7 feminine signs and
Yeah.
3 males. I'm like, so that means that you're really sensitive on this. Which I am. But like, which I am. But like, you have a very hard exterior. I'm like.
did you believe it though? Did you feel like it was
Everything
actually
that the person was reading, and it was a person who didn't know me that well.
It's similar.
I was like, this
Exactly.
is pretty true. Like, this is absolutely very true. Like, I couldn't deny it.
Exactly.
Right? I do believe in it a little bit, astrology and things like that. I'm very spiritual.
Yeah,
so I do believe in like signs and like, you know, energies and things like that.
Same.
But it's definitely something that sometimes I just got to create my own energy.
I get what you're saying, and I think that's part of it as well. I don't think it's like, all right, because you actually asked me a question and I haven't finished answering it. So I'm so sorry, but I do want to make this point. It's not like, oh, this is how your life path is supposed to be. No. It's like the same way I was sun sign. You know, you're claiming Scorpio, you're claiming Sagittarius. I'm a Virgo. The planets were in places, and that is energy. If the moon can change the tides, what's it doing to us as mere human beings? You know. But anyway, I have a lot of Leo.
This is Miss Cleo's section now.
Let me see your palm. But yeah, okay. Back to the question. New York is definitely one of them. Nigeria. My dad's half Nigerian, half English. Oh my gosh. It's the hustle and bustle, the creative community, the fact that like over here or, you know, in the States or whatever, you need something to wear. You can go to Zara or wherever, like somewhere where you can go wherever you want, right? Get an outfit. You can do that in Lagos, but people are making their own outfits. People are tailoring their own outfits. Like the creativity for that is beyond me. So, or beyond what we're able to access here in London without like really going for it. So definitely a very inspiring place for me. And where else should I choose? I picked New York. Do you know what? I'm going to say London, you know. I actually am. Yeah, I'm going to say London because, again, it's another place. All three of these cities, actually, Lagos, London, and New York, they all have the hustle in common.
That's what I like that. Like, is it that you get inspired by the hustle and by the energy? Like, I'm somebody who likes being in fast-paced places.
Same.
I can't do a resort vacation or a beach vacation because it's too laid. For me, I'm like, I'm going to be bored like in a day and a half. But that's my personality. I don't see it as better or worse or whatever it is. I just gravitate towards certain type of places.
Yeah, same. I like a chilled out resort kind of situation, just sitting on the beach in a shack. Oh, I love it. I need it actually. But yeah, in terms of inspiration, those places.
All right. And as a woman sort of in radio and television, right? What's been your experience sort of navigating that space, especially since it's very male dominated? And, you know, I'm a lawyer. That's my corporate career. And I see, again, I'm still a male, right? At the end of the day, even though I'm a person of color, but I see sometimes that women or some of my colleagues, my female colleagues, they may be going through struggling, not given the same opportunities. Is it sort of like the same in your industry? Like, have you seen some struggles maybe because, not because you're more a woman, but do you feel like there's been any obstacles because of that?
I feel like I don't know anything other than me being a woman, but there are certain things that I see, like maybe there's a group of people that a brand's sending out to, I don't know, for an event or whatever it is, you know, there's going to be like one woman there or maybe two or something, but the rest are guys. So it's just in terms of the equality and things like that, you know, why can't there be two female presenters together rather than it always has to be a certain kind of way? There's never really two females. It's usually either a man and a woman or two men. Right. It's just things like that. Things like, yeah, maybe certain people trying to like overstep, maybe trying to flirt with me or something. I've had that at certain interviews.
Wait, you're in an interview?
Yeah, I have had
like the person that you're interviewing, or you're on a show?
The person I'm interviewing is like, I've had that a couple times where they kind of tried to flirt with me. But also, I'm just like, whatever. I also don't care, and I'll just make the most of that situation. I've never really felt like super uncomfortable in that, like in terms of being in an interview and someone trying to flirt with me. But maybe outside of an interview and, you know, maybe someone that actually you really would like to connect with hollers at you on social media, but they're hollering at you because you look good, but I don't even like you, but I want to connect with you because I respect you. Right. You know, it's like things like that you got to deal with as a woman.
I guess it's weird because you want to connect with them on a professional basis.
Yeah.
And misinterpreting it as a way.
Yeah, I don't want you to think I like you. because it's not that. So it just gets a bit awkward, and I'm an overthinker. So there's so many times where I'm like, let's do lunch. Let's do breakfast.
Let's do coffee between 11:50 and
Coffee,
12.
that's a good one.
Coffee is great.
Yeah.
Coffee is great.
Yeah, that's my one.
Also, the psychology of it. I actually read this. I'm really into like human behavior.
Love that.
There's a misconception when you're an attractive person and you're being nice to another person, the other person takes that as flirting.
I
Right?
hate that.
And for me, now that I'm much more mature, I never interpret who I think is attractive just because they're being nice to me, that they're flirting with me. That's OD. That's crazy nowadays. And I just think that because we live in a world where people treat each other shittily, like in a bad way, people are like, oh, anyone who's nice to me and they look good, they must be flirting with me.
But you know what I think too? It's probably also the industry. Because I feel like in my industry, even though like that could happen, I would just never cross that line at work. You know, so, and I think maybe the entertainment industry is a bit different.
Yeah,
Where
lines are blurred.
Yeah, lines are blurred.
They party, bro.
Exactly, we're getting drunk together. Damn, I'm seeing you often. And you might look good, you might even look good too, but also I'm just not really interested in that, you know? Yeah.
So as far as, I guess, representation in the industry, is there anything that you feel like you play a part in or that are you currently doing to make sure that there's more women in the industry and all that?
Yeah, I think things like the Lionesses live show, you know, every day for a month, I think that was a huge thing. Women's football, it was like really looked down on for a really, really long time. We won that championship. Like, that was a big deal for us. And, you know, women... Some of the footballers were actually working like normal jobs whilst they were training and being like professional football players. Imagine a basketball player. Someone plays for the Lakers and they're also working a corporate job because they have to pay their bills because they're not getting paid enough. And they're professional. Crazy. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, it just opened up that world. You know, a lot of people were able to like witness something great happen in real time, and a lot of these girls now are superstars based on that, and the sport just continues to grow. So I think things like that. I started my own show as well, which is, I was talking to you guys earlier about this podcast and how difficult it is. And it's my budget version of Saturday Night Live, okay? My budget version.
So you're
Joelah Noble show.
Yes, the Joelah Noble show. So we've got a little sketch at the beginning, and it's a conversation, and then I have performances at the end. And that, I think, is where I'd like to highlight different talent, whether it's in the conversation or someone up and coming at the end. And that's for men and women, but like, you know, specifically, I always want to shine a light on the gal them.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I guess, what advice would you give to aspiring female broadcasters or presenters, especially women of color who are looking to break into the industry? Like,
I just say make your own opportunities, honestly. No one is going to give you that opportunity, especially if you don't have the experience to back it up. Find something that you're genuinely passionate about, something that you could talk about all the time. Mine was my sneaker reviews. You know, before that, it was my obsession with doing something extraordinary. So I spoke to people that I felt was able to do that and tried to learn from them. And you could use your phone. You know, you could do it in whatever creative way you want to do it. Like, things are a lot more accessible now than even when I started. So yeah, I just say, like, go for it. Use what you have. What does Mariah Carey say? I'm going to do the best I can with what I got.
that's true.
Hey, that's what she says.
That is fact.
True philosopher, MC. So I would say do that.
It's amazing. And how you say you travel between New York and Brooklyn a lot.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a little break on the show. I have to ask this question. Are you dating anybody, or do you have anybody that you, this is not going to be a weird question.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
I just want to know, New York guys or British guys?
Oh,
we gotta know, because I feel like you're the perfect person. I feel like I feel like you're the perfect person to answer this question, because you've lived in both.
Yeah.
You travel to New York enough. You're obviously in London now. We just need to settle the debate. Like, you don't have to settle who you like better.
And we heard earlier that New York guys got their fashion from London guys.
That's really interesting. I think there's some truth to that, though.
No way!
Wait.
No.
It's things like this.
Come on.
No. I will say, right, going back to New York, I've appreciated the fashion way more than I ever did, right? Because New York fashion is very loud, right? Are we not saying it's loud?
It
It's
depends.
logo.
It depends on what- it
No.
depends.
No,
it's not.
the logo guys are this is how I like to characterize.
Am I hanging around a certain
Yeah.
type of person?
This is I will say this and I'll give the mic back to you, Joelah. Some British guys dress like they're in high school. They have the big logo T-shirt.
In England.
And anywhere.
All right, go on.
They have the super skinny jeans and they
In England.
Wherever.
Right now. You think people wearing skinny jeans right now?
Wherever. Like skinny jeans, whatever. They be having the big logo T-shirt. So you need to know where they got the T-shirt from. And they have some ridiculously fitting jeans and some sneakers from some high-end fashion brand that you need to know what brand they're from. And they have the crossbody bag too, right?
Yeah, the crossbody bag.
The crossbody
Definitely
bag is and and it just looks like you're carrying your lunch bag and you're going to school. Like, that's what it looks like.
People don't even. You can't show me someone that is dressing like that right now in 2024.
The crossbody bag, yeah.
Maybe the
Walking around
crossbody
the
bag.
Dubai, there's plenty of those out there for sure.
The crossbody bag, yeah, I agree. But things like, all right, in the 90s, yeah, when my big brothers came to visit in New York, I was just a kid, you know. But I remember, like, these were the days that a lot of people in New York were wearing, like, super baggy jeans.
Yeah.
Like, it was not fitting. Okay, I saw ass crack. All right,
It was a phase.
it was a long phase.
It was a long phase. That was
It was
going
a long
2003
phase.
or 2004.
You guys had T-shirts that were dresses.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did actually like the T-shirt around the head situation.
Turban.
That was nice. That was different. I liked that.
Let's see what's up across. She was
Hey, East New York, listen. And the jeans would just be hanging off the floor all frayed and nasty. I remember when my brothers came, they did have the like skinnier jeans. They weren't skinny, but they were like just fitted well. They were wearing Iceberg. Do you know what I mean? Like it was the designers that they were wearing was just a different kind of vibe. And then later on, I seen New York people start wearing clothes like that after.
The Iceberg?
I'm not gonna lie. Then when we started wearing like jeans that were like your fit of jeans, like a bit baggy, maybe a little bit cropped or whatever, you guys went from wearing super skinny jeans because you guys were wearing skinny jeans as well.
Yes, we were.
Exactly. Did you have
I
rips?
never did
Did you
skinny.
have
Yeah, of
rips
course,
in it?
I had my leg out.
Exactly.
I had my leg
Your thighs out
I
and
never
shit.
do the super skinny. I like them tapered.
Yeah, you know, same thing.
My whole leg was out.
Big thigh
Yeah,
thigh action. I just think, I don't know, it seems like it starts here and then it goes over there. But I appreciate the fashion from both sides. I really do.
What's again? Don't deflect from the question that I asked you at first.
What?
Guys,
Oh, God.
you're guys.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry, but not from who you like more. It's like sort of like differences like that you've
Yeah.
noticed only because you can give that perspective by living in two places.
All right. I've noticed that it's a difference because there's a difference between a guy that was born in London or someone that might be like born in Jamaica and then come to London. Yeah? Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Like difference between if you're Caribbean descent, if you're African descent, it's a difference like to how you was raised and stuff, right? But I would say on a whole, I've noticed that the guys in New York are a bit more forward, bit more like generous in terms of like, oh, like let me take you out, and we're not having these stupid, I say we're on a podcast, but like these podcast fucking conversations. Like who's paying for the meal? And I know people have that over there.
New York is
No, but it's not like, it's just ridiculous, you know? Over here, I think a lot of the guys are like that. Oh, she's trying to take my money. You don't have any money. You don't have any money for me to take. Like, this is actually ridiculous. What else have I noticed?
Going back
People
to
ain't shit anywhere. So
that's why I wasn't telling you give your preface. I just wanted you to juxtapose the two sides, right?
Yeah.
But that's funny about the generosity thing, because when I was in London, I was dating, and I remember paying on one particular day, and the girl was like, "Oh, that's so nice of you." I go, isn't this normal? She's
Like,
like,
I asked you
nah,
out.
dudes out here be making you go half. And I was like, and you continue to go in relationships? That's a no. I'm Dominican. You make a girl pay on the first date, she's never calling you back up for GP. I was like, hold on, I'm paying premium.
You might leave right there. Like, nah,
you're crazy. You're wild.
We don't have to have like crazy gender roles or whatever. And everyone, we could work together in this relationship, but I'm traditional in that sense. Like, I don't mind paying sometimes, but just. Yeah.
Okay, that was.
I don't want to have an argument about it. It's ridiculous.
I appreciate you entertaining us in this little icebreaker break. From
No problem. No problem.
So do you have? You mentioned the show that you have, the Joelah Noble show. Do you have any other projects that you're working around right now? Things that you want to talk about publicly, and like what sort of inspired to do the SNL version of the show?
I just want to do more episodes of my show. I've got 2 in the cut, but as you guys know, it's stressful sometimes. It's a lot of work to like put out your own thing. So look forward to those coming out as well. We've got some amazing people.
And this is no sponsorship.
No, I'm paying for it myself.
Cool,
so it's really expensive.
We know it's tough.
We can it's hard. It's hard to produce.
Worth it though.
It seems like you got a good team around you. I was like, damn, like we need to get your contact to see how you get those people to coordinate around you.
These are people that really have been doing me favors. I pay my staff and people that work with me, but initially it's about asking for help with the people that's around you. And sometimes that could go really well. Sometimes that could go terribly.
No.
So, but yes, more of those coming out. And I'm working on a few things like documentary ideas that I'm really passionate about, but it's not set in stone yet, so I can't really talk about it. But yeah, the shows, Throwback Party, my other BBC One Extra show on a Saturday.
And what do you do for fun? Like just to chill, to relax? You have a stressed out day, you're done, you don't want to talk to nobody, or you maybe want to talk to a lot of people, but what is it that you do to sort of like...
I do actually. I talk on the phone quite a lot. I'll be on FaceTime with my girls and my boys for hours, which is ridiculous. Next thing you know, it's tomorrow. I'm a secret phone gamer.
Wait, what?
Like Candy Crush and stuff like that?
Oh, no, like Marvel Snap. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
Like
I'm embarrassed already.
Snap or Flash? Like the Pokemon
It's kind of like Pokemon game, like cards, but Marvel cards. And it's just an app, basically. It's like a battle kind of thing. It's so good.
I stopped playing phone games when I stopped taking the train. Because that would be the time you're taking the train. And then to like play the phone games.
I never got into phone games at all.
No, I will be at home, like playing solitaire or something. Or Marvel Snap or Clash of Clans. Or I'm just
Clash of Clans?
I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to things like that.
She paying the extra fee to get the boost ups and stuff like that.
Yeah, Clash Royale. I moved on to Clash Royale. That's my shit. Got my own squad. Yeah, I do stuff like that. Honestly, my life kind of does revolve around my work, so I'm thankful that I really enjoy it. I've been learning how to DJ as well. So I've got my...
You did it for the first time recently.
I did. Yeah, I did. I did. That was amazing.
What kind of music are you playing?
I'm a hip-hop girly, so I'm doing a lot of hip-hop, a lot of like R&B vibes, but then also... I really wish I was alive during like 60s, 70s disco kind of era.
Okay.
So I really want to like practice like mashing up the genres and just having fun with it. Like I really want to be a creative DJ.
Yeah.
You know those YouTube videos, like those apartment videos of people in the DJ? I love playing those videos, especially there's some that are out of Paris and everyone's like kind of dressed the same.
Just in white and
they're lit.
I ain't seen those ones.
It's fire. You should look at those. Maybe I'll send you the link.
It's called The Apartment?
It's like Apartment Party or something like that. Or something. And you could just play in the background. They have some sick sets and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah, I seen some apartments. I'm not in Paris though. Or maybe I didn't know it was in Paris.
The one I watched was in Paris.
Yeah,
I think that one is. That's Paris, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So what is what do you have for the future that you're aiming at that maybe you haven't said to anybody that you're like, if I get this, this is what I really want to do?
That's such a difficult question,
Because there's so many things?
Yeah, because there's so many things. And just because I have done so many things that I didn't plan. Okay. And I just feel like sometimes for me, planning things it's quite limited for me. I know how I want to feel. I know that I want to have the creative freedom to just do whatever I want. Do bootleg SNL, my version, of SNL, and incorporate acting and like sketches in that and live music in that, or a TV show that I've written, or put out a book. Like, I want to do all that shit. I want to learn how to paint. Like, I don't even know. I got a big chest in my house of just like art shit.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to paint properly. Like, I just want to have that freedom to just be creative. That's how I want to feel. No. But in terms of like solid, like, if I get this, really, if I get and when I get the opportunity to work in New York, consecutively, like consistently, then that is something for me that I'll be like, I've done something special.
Have you found that the industries are different in London versus New York in terms of what you want to do? Like, is it obviously it's a who you know business everywhere? But
yeah.
Is it? Have you found it like based upon who you know? Is it different? Are they very similar?
I feel like people in America are a lot more open to like connecting the dots. Oh, let me introduce you to this person. Right. Let me link you up with this person. Whereas in England, you do get that, just not as much. Right. People are just a lot more like within their group.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah, for sure. And everywhere's competitive. Obviously, the States is bigger, but there's also a lot more opportunities, I think, for someone like me. Those are the main differences, I reckon.
Is it just is your sight set on New York? Would you be open to like other cities, Miami, Los Angeles? Like,
I think I could do other cities as well. Okay. I say New York because that's just again home. That's the point of reference. But definitely open for other cities. I just wanna travel and do what I'm doing here elsewhere as well.
I guess what's been your most, I guess you can call them all championships are not the same, but what's been your favorite event to present or to introduce? Like, if you can go back, that was like the highlight of my career at that particular point, the one you're the most proud of.
Oh, honestly, there's so many. There really are, because it's like, if I didn't do that, then I might not have been able to do this. Right. The other day, actually, for the Euros final, I hosted the finals watch party at the O2. And so that's thousands of people. They released 12,000 tickets, and it was just me hosting. And it just felt beautiful. I wouldn't say that. I don't want to say that's my favorite thing, that I've done, but that's definitely a highlight. Like, to be able to speak to so many people in one go. It's just me on that stage. It was that little JoJo's little fantasy. I could have started freestyling right there and then. That was my big opportunity.
You would have had 12,000 people listening
in the palm of my hand. But that was for football as well. Have you guys been to a football match?
I have.
I have in Brazil. Actually, I went to the World Cup.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, World Cup was sick. It was
what match was it?
The USA. Who did they play?
England. We were at the same match.
Yeah.
You were at the same match. No, but he went separately. But USA, England. I also went to a Tottenham Arsenal match. That was crazy.
Yeah, well.
I didn't feel safe.
People can get a bit aggressive.
Aggressive.
Actually, hooliganism is a real thing. So it was scary standing. I'm a black girl in England talking to people who, like, football people. Sometimes football people could be real racist, So, I just thought they might have been looking at me like, who the f- is she? And like, why is she talking to us about our sport? Like, what's going on? But it was all right in the end.
Who's your team?
Liverpool.
Okay.
Why? How did that come about?
My big brother, he supports Liverpool, so he's my heart, and
Salah is there, right?
Salah, yeah. Alexander, Trent, Arnold.
I only know Salah because
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
We're in Dubai, and everybody loved him because he's Arabic. He's from Egypt, so it was. I know a little bit.
Who do you guys have a team you support?
I started watching
PSG or something.
Nah,
actually,
the Miami team,
whatever team Mbappe's on.
Oh, okay.
He's nice. He's nice.
He is amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a team. When I was here, my friends were like half Arsenal, half Tottenham, so they would take me to games. But like, you gotta rock with us. Nah, you gotta rock with us. I'm like, look, I'm rocking with whoever I'm going to that game. I'm going to the vibes. I don't got a team.
I say Arsenal. If I'm choosing between Arsenal and Tottenham,
Arsenal fans are a lot more humble because they're like Knicks fans. They've been suffering for so long.
I know.
So and they're finally getting there. They're finally getting there. So it's their time.
It's close.
This close, bro. So I may have to rock with Arsenal. Plus their jersey's fire. Their jersey's fire.
Nice. It is nice.
So I may have to go like that.
Do you guys support Knicks?
I'm a Knicks fan.
He's a diehard Knicks fan.
Who do you support?
I grew up in the Jordan era, so like, and I play ball, so I just like watching a good game, and I like certain players. So now I'm like Anthony Edwards. That's my guy.
I love him.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Well, he's
so
also the type of guy. He's gonna support whoever's in the finals. He was
Ah.
the Celtics fan.
I roll with the winners. You
I
know?
felt like it was a bit boring, the finals for the playoffs.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it.
Boston was just on another level, and the Mavs weren't. Were way undermatched. So yeah, it was kind of boring.
I did want it for
I
my
think
boy Kyrie.
it was a bunch of injuries and all that
Yeah,
that affected
I
the
know.
playoffs. So
I know. There were certain series that I loved though.
The Knicks Philly series was fire.
Yeah, it was.
That was the best series of the playoffs.
Mavs.
probably.
Was it Mavs and Wolves? Did they?
Yeah, the Mavs and the Wolves
Yeah,
played.
Mavs and
That
Wolves,
was a
that was
great
good.
series as well.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets, and I can't remember who.
Oh, the Nuggets and the Wolves.
The Wolves, yeah.
That was kind of
a
like
great
an upset because nobody thought the Nuggets would get out that early.
series. I thought they were going to make it to the finals.
No, well, the Wolves built their team to beat that team, and then the Wolves can't beat any other
Yeah.
team, which is funny. But yeah, no, it's it's actually nice to hear people who are British who know about American sports.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it.
And basketball's becoming way more global now, so people actually watch it a lot here.
It's just the time zones. The Western Conference. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You have again, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're actually up watching it?
Yeah, for the playoffs, I was up. During the season, I was just watching the highlights, but for the playoffs, I had to be in on the action.
In Dubai, I would watch it. It'd be like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he was up.
I was up watching it. I'm
Dedication.
I'm
Love
dedicated.
that.
I'm watching it. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I can stay dedicated to somebody else paying me a check. Why can't I be dedicated to the team that has brought me so much pain in the last 20 years?
Were you crying when they didn't progress?
No, I was proud of them because they were beaten down. They were so
Yeah.
injured at the end that nobody, I think, blamed them. They pushed a team that was completely healthy to the 7th game, and they were down to nothing left. So they had nothing left. They were done. When we see them next year, though, we got a squad coming up now. So
Because Mikal Bridges
that was
signed,
huge.
right?
That was
Yeah.
huge. That signed us with us. That's huge.
I'm
So
excited for that.
it's going to be kind of interesting to see how a team that bets on friendship and chemistry does. Because it's like playing with your boys, right? Like these guys won college championships together, and people are saying, oh, like, I don't know if that's going to work because this ain't college, but they're really good in the professional league, right? And they're all together now.
Yeah.
And people are going to sacrifice. People are like, oh, they're going to gel together. They came together to sacrifice to win.
Yeah.
So there's no egos on this team, which is the beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited. Ooh,
We'll see.
Yeah.
next season.
So I guess one more question, and then we could do the last one. So I guess going back on your, like, do you watch yourself when you present? Like, do you go back, watch film on yourself, and like what are some of the things that you did in the beginning of your career that you no longer do, that you fixed on, that you improved upon? And I guess what is some advice would you give to yourself when you were starting off, based upon the experiences that you have now?
I used to, when I did the GRM Daily News, it was a nervous tick, right? I'd be like, what's going on, everyone? I'm Joelah Noble, and this is the GRM News. And I do this with my shoulders, yeah. Oh, it was so annoying. I just couldn't help it. Every time, I'd be like, GRM News. To a point where, like, people might recognize me from the news, and they'd be like, oh, Joelah, do the shoulders, do the shoulders. Or they might not even say my name right, but they'd be like, oh, Joe or Joelah, do the shoulders. And I'm like, yeah. So annoying. I don't do that anymore. Even though I kind of slightly want to bring it back, I'm not going to lie. I used to speak a lot more well-spoken. It just wasn't... I feel like I'm well-spoken anyway, but it's just a natural way that I speak, you know? I think being a presenter as well is about your personality.
That's true.
You want to feel authentic, but because I was so nervous, it was just like, hello, everyone, and yeah, oh my gosh.
What made you break that and like come into your own?
What made me break that? It might have been radio, you know. Well, I started on a station called Rinse FM, and that's like a training ground, basically. And I don't know, I think I just like learned how to be a lot more comfortable and just started being normal. And something clicked in my head and this is probably around the time that I stopped wishing for things to get cancelled. Yeah. But I was just like, just be you, like just have fun. The same way you'll talk to whoever in the street or you meet someone new, like just do that when you present and like connect to the camera as if it's a person.
Yeah.
Okay, and sort of what advice would you give yourself, your younger self?
I still give myself this advice, like, just chill out. Like, it's okay. It's actually okay. Like, do the damn thing. Don't overthink it. Put it out, you know, put out the video, the picture, the sketch, whatever. Just put it out. Like, no one actually cares, you know. They actually don't care. They actually don't care.
Some good pieces of advice that we got from last season was when we talked to Brandon, where he said, the more you sit on a piece of art, the more your perfectionism gets in the way of releasing that art. Sometimes it's just a matter of just letting your art let the universe see your art.
Yeah.
And the universe is going to do whatever it wants with your art.
Yeah.
Right? So there's been like clips with us where we're thinking about it heavy flops, and then the one that you don't think is going to do well is the one that blows up, or the one that gets the most eyes and attraction. So
yeah, I've had that as well. You got to have faith.
I'm still confused. Like, people like this?
This is some basic shit. Yeah.
Okay, this is the one where this was a throwaway. Like,
I wasn't even gonna put that out. Like, that happens all the time. So yeah, that's my advice, and I would even still say I need that advice to this day, for sure.
Absolutely.
So one of our how we like to end the show is, you know, we're called the Last Flat Out Podcast. We ask each of our guests, what is your last flat out? Meaning, what is that pivotal moment that you took in your career and your life that it put you where you are today?
I think it was me leaving my full-time job.
Okay.
That's what it was. I didn't have any savings. I was broke. And I just knew that I needed the space in my mind to dedicate the amount of energy that it took to like actually do the creative stuff that I really wanted to do. So I was like super nervous. I didn't have any backup plans or anything like that. So yeah, I guess leaving that job and going out on my own was definitely the thing.
So you jumped off the cliff, no parachute.
No parachute.
That's the last flight out right there.
So
for sure.
how long to your next check? Like, so you quit full-time job, no check.
Right.
When does the next check hit?
When did the next check hit? I was going on like commercial castings and stuff, and I would book like a few of them. But I remember the first casting that I went on, I don't even think it was that much money, but they were like, oh, we're penciling you in. Right? I said, yeah, what? I got this. Are you dumb? Man's gonna be out here on the screens. Like, I'm on the screens. They called me like 2 days before I was supposed to actually do the job. And they was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You've been released. I'm walking down the high street. I've just gone to the supermarket. I've got like 4 heavy bags. I'm barely able to hold the phone to my ear. And I just started crying. It was a summer's day as well. And when I cry, my face gets red. I started bawling walking down the road, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, how is this ever going to happen for me? Like, what am I actually going to do? But yeah, by God's grace, things were able to happen. So
now you good. Now you can put those supermarket and Uber, drive it there.
Literally, I'm ordering on Deliveroo, Uber Eats.
That's it.
But yeah.
All right, Joelah, where? How about you tell the audience where they can find you on socials? You got any upcoming projects you want to let people know about, and we'll sign off from there.
Which one do I look at? This middle one? Yeah. You can find me. I feel shy. I'm a presenter. I feel shy. Okay, yeah. You can find me on my social media. Joelah Noble on Instagram, Joelah Noble on YouTube. You can check out my bootleg SNL episode. It's called The Joelah Noble Show. You got a sketch in the front, little fun interview and games. We actually do a rap battle. So look
for
forward
real?
to that.
I think
Yeah.
you wanna
No, I definitely want to.
Yeah, you can spit a
No, I
freestyle
know.
to end the show.
No, I was also embarrassed because I wasn't prepared for the rap battle that I set out, and I don't think I did a great job. So I'm really pissed off about that. But yeah, check that out, and everything will just be on my social media. So
Thanks again for the time today, Joelah. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. You're going to know the drill by now. Like this video, hit the thumbs up button, share the video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Last Flight Out Podcast, and also give us a follow across all our social media accounts. Again, at Last Flight Out Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. You can find me at JLubrio26, and you can find Mike at
If Mike was here.
Same time, same place next week. Peace, everyone.
Peace.
Let's go.
My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
one
going
out.
on, man?
Flat out.